there's a great hiding spot strat coming in here from Apollo Rising on defense. They're running goats versus goats. We got the goats set, and Penny is the first one to fall as Jador with the big fat hammer gets the first one. They are on the point though. We will be able to deny just before the first tick comes in, but it's a small window as Jador has now fallen. 5 versus 5 fight is Super Duper doing tons of work on the Brigitte right now. Kills need to start going Apollo Rising's way, and will they be able to find any of these players? No, it's Razorfish to fall. The defense, the strat was an interesting idea, but it looks to have come to no avail. The kills are going the way of Velocious Esports.
Indeed, and Velocious tell him just fine on the side of no, I'm gonna just peace, and that'll be the end of that. And Super Duper already has the rally at the ready. The graviton there's a graviton surge on the other side though that could be put to good use. But Espera is coming close to one himself, and Velocious are wasting no time. They are already wanting to make a brawl start on the point, and then graviton surges exchange. I believe one did get eaten, and Slippy G just said, "Get out of my yard!" Blew the majority of Apollo Rising away in a dose of nuclear fallout. Tech9 did reply with one. Super Duper gets rid of motion. Apollo
Was that so epic that it killed Cyber Waste?
Yes, it did. It killed me.
That scared me. Like your mic went completely black, and I'm like, wow, was that me?
No.
Like, did I just lag out or no? Okay, it genuinely killed you. Cool.
It was Super Duper. Just the light speed just went. My microphone actually reacted to it like, oh, I haven't seen anything like it in my life, and just had a bit of a spat, I guess. Seriously, that was insane! How much did they start with? It was like 4 minutes 30. And now they're at 3 minutes 45 left in the time bank after...
The good news is, if you're an Apollo Rising fan, they still have 3 minutes before the time banks are even. So if they do it just as fast, they have the bigger bank. Like, I don't know. Regardless, they have 6.5 minutes to get through this.
That type of attack is something... you might only see once and will never see again in the entire time that you play Overwatch. That was insane. And that was on the back of one person too.
3, 2, 1.
That was Super Duper on the Brigitte just running riot on everyone else. And now it is up to Apollo Rising to attempt to match it.
Well, we have Pulsar on the Brigitte. Motion is, of course, Goat's going to be again, and the Maywall is going to be good, but where will the kills come in? Tech9 in a lot of trouble. He's going to be able to fly out nice and easy as Deontay was there. We've got a lot of pressure on to Sliggy on that Roadhog. He will not fall. Penny's in a bit of trouble as well. Still seemingly be okay. Finally does fall here, and now Esbar is down, so that's 2 opening picks for Apollo Rising, and Motion died. We have a pause.
Indeed, and in my left ear at the moment, because I am spectating right by the bell, I'm hearing, I believe it to be Razorfish with his Sonic Blaster just going nuts with it, and it was unreal. But this was at the very base of it. It was looking to be a complete and utter repeat of what we just saw previous on that round, and now that the members of Apollo Rising are now down a player and will have to deal with a reset when he returns, this push, as fruitful as it looks, it might have to be pulled off. But looking at who's alive, it might actually be might be a worthwhile endeavor to stay and finish things off.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's still 4 people by this point. It's tough. I mean, it's a 5-on-4. Tech isn't terribly healthy if you manage to demech him, but Supa's only about half health as well. 2 supports up for both team. I mean, I think still in this engagement, you have to favor Apollo. Yeah, this is tough. I don't think you go back in. It depends what happens, like, as soon as we unpause though, because if a pick goes, like if a pick or two go the way of Velocious, you absolutely stay in and you win this fight. If a pick goes Apollo's way, you need to get like straight out of dodge though. Motion's back. Be picking his hero, and we will be live in just a moment.
Yeah. Motion, unfortunately, producing a new obstacle for everybody to deal with, and Motion with a little bit of friendly banter in the chat box. So I appreciate that.
That banter was perfect too, because the team relayed my joke to them. It's perfect.
That's wonderful. And we are back and at it, and it looks like the theoreticals of it being too scary of a fight doesn't look like it's all that big of a deal. But Ghidorah coming so close to the edge, and Tech9 makes Slippy pay dearly for his arrogance. And while Apollo Rising, despite that delay, starting as they mean to go on, 6 minutes and 12 going into the second phase as they try to storm the shrine. And looking at their ult economy, we're seeing a rerun of the previous round. That bears repeating. This could actually be just as fast at the time, but that Bastion is a scary proposition to try and deal with, and he's going to have to be dealt with quick.
Well, he managed to get just out of the way. That means he got free reign. Tech9 managed to find 2 kills on this D.Va kill, still going the way of the offense, though, but Bastion's still up, causing a...
Score 4-4.
Yep, indeed. It's been an RTSD type mount. Rush that Shibata down. It's been aggression right from the get-go. Like, you look at the time banks. Even with Velocious and their time, it's after 4 points. Sometimes when teams play Hanamura, you get that time when you're only playing for 2 points, and you'd be happy with that. Some people don't even get 2 on Hanamura. It's been an old tale of basically being deadlocked at the temple. But both these teams are saying, no Ds, no fences, just all out aggression, mayhem, and destruction. And I'm pretty sure this is not over just yet.
And once again, we have the GOAT's defense coming out for Apollo Rising. This time it looks like they're going to position it a little bit differently. Same idea though.
Wonder what'll happen when the new heroes actually enter the fray. How that will all pan out, but we will have to wait and see about that when it comes to the PTR. The gates are down for the 3rd time. We're going into a 2nd round of extras, and yet again, it's just another battle at the gate. A full-blown brawl is going out, and well, just judging from the face of it, until that very point when Don went down, it was looking pretty even. Ghidorah says, well, not anymore. This defense is actually holding strong. Espera does reply to Ghidorah being forced to hit the deck. Penny does use the Earth Shatter, uses that to dispose of Razorfish, but Tillum at high charge is running right through the side of Velocious, and the bell and the first point get held onto for now, and Tillum is almost the sole force behind that defense.
Apollo Rising doing a good job bleeding some of the time off this clock thus far. Have the ultis up. There was a shadow used by Penny in the last fight, so none here for this current one, as we have once again the brawl coming through. Triple ults is going to be the interesting key factor here. Coalescence though is coming out from defense, but oh, so many ults being used still. Will they be able to clean up on this one? No kills though. That Graviton was perfect, but it did not capitalize, and now Ghidorah has fallen. More ultis being used on the field. Coalescence in. 2 kills with the D.Va Bomb. Another D.Va Bomb down as well. but it looks like this will go Velocious's way. Short of some miracles. Delays coming through, but again, kills, they've all gone. Velocious, and first point will fall.
Yes, indeed, they will claim the bell, and, well, to the credit of Apollo Rising, they did shave a little bit more time off than the last couple of attempts, but we're in another situation where they have the momentum on their side. They have the ults almost at the ready. You see Penny almost with the Earth Shadow that could hold a ton of value should the members of Apollo Rising go down to the lower floor. And the rally has already been called. Jadora has put down Super Duper with the Fire Strike, and another Fire Strike did go out. Not much avail. There goes the sound barrier on the side of Apollo Rising to keep everybody topped up. Tillen and the particle cannons is loud, roaring, obnoxious, and the rest of the team is following suit. And Apollo Rising, it took them a while, but they've put up the stop sign and have told the side of Velocious, come no further, and the defense will hold.
That's one of the key duels that's going to be worth watching for the rest of this series is the Zarya duel between Tillam and Espar, especially while these two teams are running very similar comps. Tillam's just been on higher charge all the time, it feels. It has been giving such a huge edge. Now though, we have Coalescence coming through, pin onto Espar in a lot of trouble. Oh, the Shatter! 3 down, that's going to be a complete cleanup here for Apollo Rising. They should surely win this fight. D.Va has been D-Mac, jumps off a cliff, and that's nice and easy, and they barely used any ults on that one. That was beautiful.
And Jadora can follow up another one in very short order too, because of the tight nature usually of Hanamura on attack. And they barely use anything, like you said. There was only the other side to use it. Look at the smorgasbord on offer for Apollo Rising now. The rally, the coalescence, you see the self-destruct and the graviton surge, which will be on offer. And Jadora will have a field day given where the members of Velocious are going. The graviton surge locks them all up in the hallway, and it is blood, guts, and mayhem. And then the side of Velocious will reply in turn. Velocious will be blown up by Slippy, and there goes the Earth Shadow from the opposing Reinhardt to Jadora, that being Penny, and both of them have been used now. Jadora will be the stronger German boy in this instance. The blue side will actually start to stabilize out as overtime is now in effect. There was only one just darting in and out, could not dart any more, and just bleeding the time. The Lucio of Dawn was oh so slow, and you see it's all about speed now. Penny coming in on the wrecking ball just to buy time to even buy a tick on this defense. And it looks like the side of Apollo Rising are having none of it. That is it. The first time in this match we have not had a 2-point capture.
Well, when it rains, it pours. And what I mean by that is when things got bad at the beginning of that push, it really got bad. We thought it was going to be pushes all the way through for days. It was just going to be teams perpetually capping. But Apollo Rising, the first defense to step up and have an answer. Challenge time, though. Can Velocious do the same? Can they do it earlier on? Will they still not get the win, or is it going to be the tick all the way through as Apollo keep themselves alive? Keep in mind, the series is 2-0 right now for Velocious. It's a best of 5. So Apollo Rising need to run the field starting with this map.
Well, they're more than capable of doing that. We've seen that in the past. And let's see how this attack will actually play out. Will Tillam actually stick on the Soldier 76? A bit of a curious pick because he's been a cornerstone of the setup, but that's mainly on Zarya. I'd figure for the sake of consistency, why not go back to her? And speak of the devil.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was gonna say, like, it had to be bait because for one, their DPS players are Tech9 and Pulsar. And Tech9 was on D.Va. I wasn't sure. Like, I feel like you put Tillam, who's a tank player, on the D.Va and have Tech run 76 or at least something there. But again, they go to the tried and true goats as they try and continue the success they've had so far. Getting right up in their faces. A great anti though. Pulsar is gonna fall. Jadora in a lot of trouble through motion down as well. They're just gonna try and retreat with their lives, but that was a massive anti-nade from Tamagoyaki.
Then that is the value of Ana, especially when the quarterback arm with that bio-nade, if it hits well, it does so much. Not only to keep your team up, but to basically freeze a team's composition that relies so much on sustained healing. That was a good job of that. This red defense from Velocious is holding very, very strong thus far. And, well, that is them. Well, the bell didn't sound, but you dare say that was a wipeout. Just sweep that attack out. It's not going to happen.
Still going to be persistence on the GOAT's comp, believing that it is truly the GOAT as they boost their way forward, trying to get in, and another huge auntie. 3 players caught, and that has been shutting these players down completely. Good trade there as a spark going down. This is actually a surprisingly even fight for the way that Ante started this out, and now the Coalescence is out. Players in trouble here. Super Duper going down. Shatter the other way. Kill
Big Shatter.
Everybody. It got 5 whole players there. Penny though still in some trouble as the remaining of this defense should start to crumble. They do finally move towards the point. They start to put the pressure in there. Good sound barrier is going to delay things a little bit further. This next kill is so important, so very crucial. And Sliggy is going to be demech. Oh, the mirror bombs are perfect, and Sliggy is the only one to go down. As Tech9 getting that kill. Kill still going the way of Apollo Rising. That Graviton is good. Oh, but they still manage to find all of these kills, and they will be able to cap out this first segment.
It's a little bit of a shame because Penny got a huge shatter on one of the attacks from Apollo Rising, basically knocking everybody down. It's big, it's juicy, it's begging for a follow-up, but the follow-up did not come. So now on the back of that, Velocious's only hope is a draw now, and Apollo can keep this series going with 1/3 captured, and Penny has gone down and gone down hard with the nano boost and the Earth Shatter. He is now down on the lower deck. Jadora has fallen suit, and Tech9 and Tillum are leading the charge of the frags and leading this defense completely and utterly dry, and almost at the finish line, Velocious cannot stand anymore, and it's only playing the clock now, and the clock is now empty. Apollo Rising are still living in the series, 2 maps to 1 in favor of Velocious as we go in to map number 4, which is now the choice of Velocious.
And here's the thing. It has been so long since I've casted a series here that went the extra map that I can barely remember what they are. I want to say it's King's Row and Blizzard World are our next choice, but it's been so long I can't actually remember.
You got half of that right. It is Hollywood.
It's definitely Blizzard. It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood and Blizzard World. But I could definitely let slide the fact that you said King's Row because it is a mainstay of Overwatch, not only in this country but everywhere around the globe.
And to be fair, King's Row and Eichenwald were our 2 maps for Rise Up.
Correct. And that was a great time.
So I had half of both leagues map pools.
They're bleeding together, Mr. Morrison.
Because this beautiful game has so many memorable moments and so many memorable maps that you just want to play them all.
Indeed.
Like that map, to be honest with you, like as much as I was bemoaning goats earlier, like that map absolutely delivered in spite of that comp. It was high octane through to the end, high energy, super close, and I mean we literally went through 2 sets of overtimes before Apollo managed to pull that one off. Can't ask for a much closer game.
You can't ask for a better game either, and yeah, it is one of my favorite 2 control point maps. But I wonder if there are going to be a new set of 2 CP maps. Where would you want it to take place in the Overwatch universe?
Whew. That's a good question. What do you have in mind?
That is interesting. In the Shooting Stars short, perhaps one on the ocean where Diva was actually battling, I believe it was one of the giant Omnics. That's on a carrier ship. You have to go on the upper deck and then on the lower deck.
Oh, so kind of like a layout like Nuke in CSGO, where it's got the points kind of right above each other.
Where it's got the points sort of right above each other.
I like that.
That would actually be kind of difficult for things to snowball, though, which is a sort of cornerstone of that mode. I think that would.
What I'd love, not so much in like the actual like Overwatch universe, I guess. If they ever introduce a hero that's Canadian, I thought this is of course the Canadian bias in me, but I thought like maybe a escort map would be kind of cool, where it's like starts in like Vancouver kind of thing and goes up through the Rocky Mountains.
Please tell me you escorted a Zamboni as the payload.
I mean, that would be the stereotype thing. Yes, I hadn't thought about the actual payload, but I've always loved the style of like when you mix like the right balance of like if you did kind of like the Rockies in spring kind of thing, where you have like some green grass mixed in with like the snow. I thought could look really good with like on like an escort map with Rocky Mountains. Like if you ever played, this is a weird one for you, Cyber Waste. If you've ever played the Star Wars MMO, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
You lost me. I never actually
There's a
played
planet in that game, Alderaan. And like it's like the planet itself in that game is just downright beautiful. And ever since that, it's again that mix of like snow and like melting snow and like basically just look up. I think they use the Canadian Rockies as inspiration with some of the lakes up there, and like Banff and stuff like that.
I thought you would have been talking about Hoth, actually.
No, because Hoth is like straight snow. Like it's like a long flat desert, but instead of desert, it's snow. Alderaan's a lot more like mountainous, and it has some of the green. Like, yeah, it's. I'll see if I can find a picture for you after this, but I thought that would be a really beautiful like art style. That, like, especially with like how nice the Overwatch art style is. I thought that on an escort map would be really beautiful.
That'd be cool. Actually, they're kind of
well, and you'd have like some good sight lines for Widow, and you could have some like variance in the height because you'd have like cliff sides and stuff like that.
Yeah, more of those types of maps where it is more engineered towards long sight lines, where characters like Widow, McCree, and the new Ashe can really excel. But now we have a new map to observe and have a look at. Well, not a new map in terms of new in the game, but new as in being played. We have Hollywood, one that we haven't seen in quite a while, which I'm actually happy to see again. And Apollo Rising will be defending first, and the ones that are still on match point, Velocious, they are attacking. And we see a dance party in Spawn for Velocious, and that's pretty cool.
And now that I have linked a picture of the Rocky Mountains in Twitch chat and our caster Discord, you can go take a look at that as we are live into this map. And we have them going straight forward there. Spar trying to get up in their faces on that Zarya. Great pressure right now as it is. Once again, goats v goats.
Indeed, that's why you see it so often, because it's so versatile and so able to be used in a lot of situations. It's very, very scrappy in the opening gambit. You would just give the edge to the side of Velocious. You definitely will now, with two of the healers for Apollo Rising being deleted from the server. And well, aside from Tillum being the person to eject slip from their mech, it's been all Velocious all day. And for the looks of things, the side of Apollo Rising won't even try to recontest because they're already being rushed down from their opposition.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming out of that door. They back off and say bye. They're coming right back in. They're getting right up in front here. They find Sliggy and Aspar, so that's a nice set of pair of picks. The Shadow's gonna come down. They may have overextended. There's a couple quick picks back the other way from Velocious. Make that a hat trick. a fourth for good measure. Tillum is going to be caught here late, and that bit of overextension and a little overzealousness from Apollo Rising. Velocious looking comfortable.
And Tech9 getting staggered out hard. Yeah, bled a lot of time with the payload, sure. But that time will be basically forcing Apollo Rising to wait for Tech9 to return. But Tech9 does have the self-destruct in their pocket. There goes the Graviton Surge. It's pulled up a couple of members of Apollo Rising. And Pulsar's already out of the fight. So that is a huge part of this composition taken away. So now Apollo Rising are really on the back foot, and they aren't even fighting effectively there. Just judging from their positioning, they're really just retreating. But now Tech9 does have the chance to swing the fight back. Doesn't blow Penny away, but Penny did take Razorfish with him, and that self-destruct from Slip is to no avail. So now Apollo Rising do have the chance to regroup and brawl it out on the limousine and have the director wonder what the hell is going on out there. There goes the Graviton Surge for the side of Velocious, and there goes the broom and the hook from stage left. Apollo Rising just get flipped out from defending. No defending for you. You're gonna have to go back to the studio. And Goldshire Studios doors should open, barring a last-minute touch. No, it will not occur. And we have 5 minutes, give or take, for the limo to reach its VIP space.
That is a lot of time, but it could be completely shut down. The thing is look how forward this offense is. There's still 4 of them up there pressing these players back. Pulsar might be in a bit of trouble. He's got Penny up in his face on the Brigida now, trying to find anything, but Pulsar will fall. It's a spawn camp coming in right now. There's no answer for Apollo Rising. This card's just moving freely.
I mean, no, I mean, if you've got the chance to and you got the position to do it, I mean, why wouldn't you? You're definitely feeling high in the sky, and Penny was looking good to charge, but got booped away. There goes Jadora with the Earth Shatter, and right from behind, Penny will do the same, and that will force the defenders to hit the deck, but perhaps that overextension has come back to bite them. And now, for the first time in this entire map, it feels like Apollo Rising can actually stabilize and get set up and prevent that limousine from advancing.
They are still up here pestering as the re-aggression is going to start to come in from Velocious. To get in their faces once again, like they've done such a good job of. However, the kills are going Apollo Rising as they're making this Goat comp work. Ghidorah will fall to Penny. The shield is up. That buys a little bit of time and space for the remaining players. However, Penny in the end gets caught. The remaining players are going to fall off. Apollo doing a good job of locking it down now.
It is in quite a good position too. A good sight line if they do choose to stretch the range out a little bit with a hero composition. If they bring it Widow into the... Definitely give it this position is really giving Apollo Rising a lot of breathing room and a lot for Velocious to really figure out. There goes the Graviton Surge, and that will force out the sound barrier to keep them in the fight. There goes the Earth Shatter as well to knock people to the floor. It was to no avail, definitely just to threaten. But despite it being a stalemate, that could be the turn with the Graviton going down from Tillum. Oh, from Esper, excuse me. And just like that, Apollo Rising just crumbled like a stack of cards.
The payload team killed.
VIP has arrived at his parking space on schedule. In fact, he came 2.5 minutes early. So that was the amount of time left in the bank for Velocious. Honestly, like a solid time, but nowhere near as good as it looked like it was going to be. There was a really nice rally from Apollo Rising at the end, and what looked like it could have had a lot more time in the bank.
Definitely, especially given the way that they started. But I'd say they did get extremely overconfident and it ended up biting them. They were moving towards the spawn, the side of Velocious, and that left a lot of questions. They only left one on the payload, so it's not moving at max speed. And the aggression from Velocious when they were moving towards the spawn gate to lock the members of Apollo Rising in place and prevent them from moving forward. Perhaps that was really their undoing. They might have bit off more than they could chew, and that was the ticket there for Apollo Rising to really stabilize before it was eventually capped out. But it was looking extremely dire for Apollo Rising in terms of a defense, and it did sort of taper itself out and find a good keel, all things considered, considering how it could have ended.
Well, let's see. Defense is not going to be Goats, which is good. There's still the Brigida and Lucio, and the Diva. There's a Winston, Zenyatta, and McCree also on the field for the defense. And they've changed it up. This isn't right. Motions on Hanzo. That's not right. He's your healer. But
there we go.
There it is.
Okay.
I see. He threw the sensor
the Sonic arrow.
Sonic arrow.
That would have
been God.
Yeah, you're thinking of like a sensor beacon or a sensor dart. Yeah. No, Hanzo is not recon. He doesn't have the goofy headset to match. And it was like the Divas are really wanting to have a little bit of a robot war in the villa and to get knocked down for his trouble. So Tech9 did get a little bit of a percentage out of that, so that is a good thing to start off with. The slip will drop motion. So that's an honor out of the fight, and that is going to be rough times. Pulsar doesn't get a fry, but does get an ejection. Slip will just be a little mecha pilot for the time being, and Tillum will eradicate Penny. And Talon, yet again, he's been my pick of the night, been basically single-handedly bringing the opposition to bear, but eats a Deadeye from Esper. And that will stop the initial attack from Apollo Rising, and they'll have to recoil and rethink their strategies.
Hello.
Yeah, big shout out to Espoir for doing so much work on that McCree. You know that they're going to have to get in on pressure him early here, and in fact they're going straight up that staircase and down the following one, just trying to force him off of his position. They have done that nicely, and now the rally comes out from the Brigitte. Will they find anything else here is the $1 million question. No picks for either team. Don's in a lot of trouble. There's the opener. Pulsar getting that one. And now the Diva Bomb is going to go to this guy. Does a lot of damage to the Sleeping Monkey. Not able to find anything.
A bit of a yikes call from Dawn. I find that a little bit hilarious. Jadora does have the Earth Shatter at the ready. There goes the Stars and Stripes from Slip. And Esper does want to tell the time, lets it rip, does a lot of damage, but no frags on the end of it. It is still a deadlock on the point. Still don't go to crude either, so that is good, all things considered. Not anymore with the polarizing Jadora. Raina having down like Macho Man, Raina's savage. And with the assistance of Razorfish, this defense is being thinned, and now it is actually being able to be drunk because it is still enough to be drinkable if it was a cordial. And now it is only a matter of time before the Lucio drops. Son will be silenced, and finally this limousine will begin to move. But it took a lot longer than they probably would have liked, and Velocious will be happy with that.
Excuse me for diving in.
Watch your back.
And I see people out there in chat throwing a little bit of shit. I do ask you kindly not to. Please be respectful of all involved in this production. Both the players and the broadcast team. As we have this next engagement coming forth. Super duper though, gonna find a nice opener onto motion. That's the Ana falling. Now they are continuing to find the kills in this fight. Kill him with a couple back the other way. But the majority of those kills did go to Velocious. Still pressure coming forth, and the Diva Bomb's being used. That will not find any kills.
I'm actually going to tape this out the side of Velocious, and that position where the card is situated, it could get extremely hairy if they're not careful, but that will be the cue to engage going out from Tech9. And now Apollo Rising, just as it was looking good for Velocious, they got wiped out again, and now finally this payload will move through the gate into the Wild West phase.
And they should be able to gain a lot of space before the re-engagement comes in from Velocious. In fact, they're sitting quite a ways back as Tech9 scouted out a lot of info here. Cart will at least get around the corner. Going for the wrap hold. And the Graviton's going to catch all of them in there. They don't really have the ult damage to deal it out. They've done a good job backing these players away as they keep moving it away.
Definitely, and the longer this defending team is being kept at bay, the better. And the polarizing is using the sound barrier. There was the coalescence to reply from Tamagoyaki. It is not so much a veil though. The side of a polarizing is trying to keep things up, but the side of Velocious are knocking them down until it is raining the particle cannon and got melted. Ouch.
My trailer is that.
Yeah, complete melting there. There was no chance for them to do much. Now we'll see if they can get back in here and reaggress. They do have more ultis on the field than their opposition do. We'll see if Apollo Rising can make those ults work.
Indeed, they're definitely on the clock though, and they are wanting to stay alive in the series. And the call to arms did come out from Super Duper, but Espero will not receive any of the healing because they are non-existent in the fight. Jadora has forced Tamagoyaki to suffer the same fate, as well as the counterpart in Penny. Just on his own, Jadora just yelling out, "Honor, justice, ride hard, eat the Endermite Hammer, tell him and Pulsar will be there to assist." And finally, Apollo Rising can breathe, but the time is slowly asphyxiating their chance at keeping this series alive.
Oh, there'll be one more go at a defense here. Two ultis in their hands, but the Graviton does a good job of keeping the big stun ult. That's the Shatter coming in. It will be landed, but not before players start to go down for Velocious. There's still a few in this fight, still being able to try and do something with no Brigitte on the field, but it looks like, in fact, they did cap it out, so they have a minute and a half to cruise through, and they managed to get a few more picks. Kill them, trying to stagger one more out, not able to do so.
There are a couple of pivotal ults to really hang on to this though. Tamagoyaki with the coalescence that they've already got just ate herself a big fire strike right in the face. And there it goes from Tamagoyaki. The coalescence will come out and got promptly stunned by Jadora, and Tech9 finishes the job, making the opposition eat Doritos, Mountain Dew, and Nuclear Arsenal. And Pulsar and Motion will give the defenders their marching orders. And after that ejection, it was only a matter of time before a slip hit the deck. And that timing was impeccable. You couldn't have asked for anything better.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it was fantastic teamwork by Tech9 throwing in that Diva Bomb and then Jadora capitalizing on it with a greater Shatter, making that super effective. Now both rallies are coming out, and Esbar in the back has picked up Motion. That is a huge start for Velocious, and the big ante. 3 players are not able to be healed right now. Kills need to start coming in. There's a few very hurt, and Tech9 grabbing Esbar to make this a little bit interesting. They need to get back toward this card, so 5 seconds left. Somebody will need to jump on it. Graviton is good for caught, and it shatters down there too. Gone into a clean up. Diva Bomb though. Will this find anything? No, it will not. They cap it all the way through. Or at least they shut it there, so let's do this. Will fall, and there we go. Despite having 0 seconds left on the clock, they did it a little bit slower, but they made it.
And then much more dramatic.
Score 3-3. Switching.
Fights. But I can't get over that time in between Tech9 and Jadora. You dream of something like that happening. Boom, there it happens. A Earth Shadow right to the self-destruct, right as it blows. You can't ask for anything better. You'd be giving the Diva a pat on the back for that.
Beautiful teammates working in beautiful unison to wreak havoc. Looking like a vintage Steiner Brothers there, or something along those lines with how in sync that was.
I'd say a line that alludes to one of the deciders, but I would be kicked off the broadcast. So yeah, but because the members of Apollo Rising did capture in overtime, the way that hybrid works, they do not get a second chance. And now the win condition for Velocious is simple: they capture 1/3, the series is over, and we bid you all adieu. But Apollo Rising will definitely be wanting to prevent that and making this go to a tiebreaker. And knowing what we've seen, it's basically a coin flip as to whether we finish it here or under the neon lights of the Lijiang Tower.
One tick is all that is needed for Velocious. Easy enough to get by saying, not as easy by doing, but we'll see if they can still succeed. Nonetheless, this is for the series. This is so pivotal. Velocious win. It is all over. Apollo trying to stay alive, and Jador with a nice opener on the Penny will stunt the first pick. Esbar going down 2. That is beautifully done, and they will also stagger the Lucio a little bit later. Dawn down will spawn in a little bit, so that trains the first 45 seconds off the clock. Minute 45 left now. 1 tick still the challenge marker, Cyber Waste.
Yes, indeed, and they've definitely proven themselves able to crush with even less. So it'll be up to them. Now another straight out brawl. Jador seems to be the one that's getting focused, and there goes the Graviton Surge to lock the attackers together. Still the Pulsar will lock out two. Dusted with authority thanks to Tillum and Razorfish, and they're doing it on the side of Apollo Rising, and they do have the ultimates to use. They have the Rally, the Earth Shatter, and the Self-Destruct at the ready. But there is also the Earth Shatter and Rally on the side of Velocious, and Tamagoyaki with Moira, if he's proficient enough, he'll be able to reach another couple of lessons by the time this fight is done. The Earth Shatter goes down from Jadora. That is the cue for the fight to start.
Oh, a big shatter, catching a lot of players, and Pulsar falling Jador down too. This could be it here, Cyber Waste. Graviton's Surge not going to connect on anybody, but the kills need to start going Apollo Rising's way. Try and send out another Graviton. It gets eaten. The kills, they're still going the way of Velocious. Surely they are going to take this one away from a Cyber Waste. It's just a matter of time. Done a good job. There are the kills. Here comes the cap, and Velocious are your winners, 3-1.
Definitely, and the GGs are called and exchanged. And yeah, 3-1 to Velocious, and wow, that Hollywood map was basically a showcase as to these two teams and their strengths, and just basically a big showcase in what a Ghost Mirror can do in terms of dramatics. Look at Penny just using that rocket hammer to knock them all out of the way, like, move over. Get out of the way! And basically just flexing on everyone. And after all that, I'm absolutely spent. That was a pretty amazing set, all things considered.
And Cyber Waste, I'm going to start this early. I'm going to put pressure on you.
Ooh, okay.
MVP. Most valuable person. Most valuable player.
Ooh.
Most valuable pineapple.
Myself, Octavius Porter. I would give it... Oh, golly. Good question. There were plenty of...
I'll give you a minute to think about it.
Yeah.
If you don't have one yet.
I don't have one yet.
Mine.
Human.
I'll talk about mine. So, first of all, I'm going to give... I always like to kind of shout out a couple people that stood out on both, like on the other team that lost. Because my MVP has to come from the winner. That's my rule. That's the only rule I have for MVP. And I did notice Tillum in almost every fight for Apollo Rising on the Zarya. This is a fantastic player. But unfortunately, he didn't win, so he can't get it. Motion as well had some really nice antis. And that's my transition, because my MVP was Taogayaki, because when he played Ana, felt like every single fight that Velocious won, at least 3 players got antied by Apollo, and even the fights that they didn't win, I was seeing so many fantastic anti-nades coming out did a great job keeping his players alive. So for that reason, Tamagayaki was my MVP.
That's a pretty safe bet, and I would be inclined to actually agree, because it basically encapsulated how valuable now a good Ana can be in tipping a fight. And as you did mention, Tamagayaki was pivotal in either buffing the teammates or basically shutting down any of the compositions that Apollo Rising did have. And they rely so much on sustained healing from the Moira, the Brigitte, and all those types of compositions. If that's stopped by a bionic nade from Ana, that composition does not stand a chance. It's going to get run over. And because of how much weight those bionics had and how on point they were, Tamagayaki will also be my MVP for the evening.
Well, in a special edition of the Sunday, or well, is it still Sunday for you guys, or is it Monday now? I don't know.
No, it is definitely still Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday, Sunday.
In a special Sunday edition of Ascent for AO Esports, we will see you all on, I think it's Friday you guys do it? No, it's Saturday?
I believe the next matches will be on Friday. Follow AO Esports on
yes, because it's Thursday nights for me, so yes.
For more information. But
time zones, man, they're hard.
Time zones are very hard, man. It still gets me to this very day. But with all that said and done, on behalf of AO Esports, we shall bid you all adieu. My co-caster has been Mr. Graham Dreamboat Morrison. My name is Justin Cyberways Lutz. My producer has been Wen. And Mr. Morrison, do you have a parting word?
Just have a great evening, everybody, and drive safe.
Be the best hero you can be.